So, and I think Golden State lost. So shout out to former Thunder players.
Wow. Go ahead, Woo.
So, I mean, I don't know enough about the story, but just from what you guys were talking about, I think KB hit it around the head. I think there needs to be accountability for people who make false accusations. I mean, I'm glad that this situation worked out for him, but who knows if she wouldn't have said, hey, I lied, all that good stuff, then this dude, his life probably was going to be ruined. And like you said, his reputation's already gone. So, I mean, there's got to be something somebody can do to make sure that before accusations come out like that, their facts are in line. Because, like you said, as soon as you get accused of something like that, your reputation's gone. Even if you're found innocent, even if the charges are dropped, people have already made up their minds about you. So, I mean, that's damaging.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is when you do accuse a public figure, you essentially become a public figure. So it's hard because you're gonna be held accountable by the public opinion, and that's pretty much what it comes down to. Because we don't really have any way of really holding them accountable.
I think we do have a way. We just don't want to utilize it. And it's like, we can even just take this to, like, let's say in elementary school. If someone hit you and you hit them back, most likely y'all both got in trouble, right? But now if someone goes and lies and says they hit you after that, then they're like, well, you have a history of being violent.
Yeah.
Well, if I got people saying, yo, this person lied and they admitted it, shouldn't all the heat go to that person?
Yeah.
But instead, no, you get stuck with the moniker of you're the violent one. So every time you react, like, everyone looks at the person who constantly is reacting instead of like, well, why are you always being antagonized?
But isn't that with anything?
Yeah, my problem is
like that example you said about elementary school is right on, because
but don't
kids
pick
get labeled.
and choose just because
kids get labeled like that all the time.
But that's what I'm saying. Don't pick and choose just because this is the Me Too. No, you don't help. You don't help.
I think the Me Too movement needs to come out and say something, because
violence is bidirectional.
When something like this happens and there's false accusations, it hurts
nothing.
the movement.
Yeah, it does. 100%.
Because
feminists don't say anything.
Now,
no one says anything.
Because now when a woman says, oh, he hit me or he raped me or whatever the case may be, now people are like, well, are you telling the truth or are you lying? Now they're questioning her, and she could be the victim, when females come out and accuse somebody and then later say, oh, no, I was lying, I was mad at him, it just makes the movement look bad as a whole. And
it makes females look bad because it's the exact stereotype of you being overly emotional and lying.
And also,
frankly,
they've already proven in scientific studies violence is bidirectional. No one hits somebody else more than somebody else. It's just that they actually showed statistics saying that, like, women are more violent, but men, if they're violent, obviously because they're men, they create greater damage.
But rape and sexual assault aren't.
No, but I'm talking about domestic violence.
They're not crimes of violence. Even domestic violence isn't a crime of violence. It's not. It's not a crime of aggression. It's a crime of power, passion.
Time out.
There's
domestic
studies.
Violence isn't a crime of violence, but it's violence.
You're not doing it to be violent. You're doing it to assert power. That's scientifically proven.
I've seen some domestic violence situations. I think some people were just really trying to be violent. Like, yeah, violence and power.
Violence or power are like tied together.
It comes after that, though. Like, the power of hurting someone only works if you hurt someone. So I'm saying the power that someone has.
But the violence is used as a method of control. So it's a fear of, like, being in the cycle. That's how you get caught up in the cycle of domestic violence.
But how greater is the fear of knowing the perception of you being violent is enough to destroy your life, even if you've never been violent, which will cause you to be violent and be angry because your life is ruined based off that. So then
that's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and then therefore you become your reputation.
Yeah. So
then that's on the individual.
Yeah, but not always.
Like,
not always. That's where it's like there's multiple people.
Yeah.
That's when it's only that if there's actual accountability. Like if the scale was even on both sides and it was a perfect world, yes. If someone made up the lie and then afterwards you're like, okay, I'm still mad and I'm violent. Well, like, dog, you got to get over that because like this person was held accountable for lying on you, but that does not exist. So instead, it's just more and more.
But then at the same time, you're just punishing yourself after the fact that you already went through being a victim. So now you're really just relieving the pain that you already
trauma's
lived.
Real, but
exactly,
it's unavoidable. But I'm saying because of the lack of accountability, like this dude Foster's gonna need some counseling. Like, let's be honest, cats like him.
Well,
people
good.
who go through stuff like that, they're gonna need serious counseling.
Good,
just
because as I've
to
said,
trust human beings again.
As I've said multiple times, like
everyone needs counseling, but
not just that, but you put yourself in that situation, man. Like,
yeah, but it's not always somebody putting themselves in the situation. Sometimes people reveal who they really are.
Yes,
in those situations, and it's too late.
Yes and no, but at the same time,
I agree.
If I go to a trap house and they're smoking crack, I put myself in that situation. If I don't do drugs, then I'm never in that situation of being around people who smoke crack. If I'm married and have a kid, I'm never in a situation where I need to be alone in a room with a girl who may or may not lie and throw some slanderous shit at me.
But that could happen walking down the street. You could walk down the street, the cops could pull you over and beat you up, and they say, well, if you weren't in that location. Like,
it could happen.
We don't live in a perfect world, so I'm just saying the lack of accountability.
But I think what he's saying is just you can control certain things in your life. So the things you can't control, avoid that situation. Like, to your point, what you're saying is, yeah, you don't know what's going to happen if you walk down the street. You could get pulled over and the cop could beat the crap out of you.
Yeah.
And you have no control over that. But you have control over, hey, I'm in this room with a female and there's nobody else around. It's my word against hers if she decides to say something.
Facts. Yeah.
Don't be in that situation. Have, even in the workplace, have another coworker in there with you to be like, okay.
Listen, man, have an NDA right next to your condoms. Have a legally consent form.
You need an
right
NDA to even talk to me outside of this room.
Yeah. Take a note from Trump and have that.
We take no notes from Trump.
Woo just reversed my burn on me.
Damn, I forget what this one does, but I might as well just play it.
That's the listen up.
That's okay.
All right, so next one. Paul Allen, owner of the Seahawks and Portland Trailblazers, basically gave $1 million to support a ballot initiative in Washington that increases restrictions on gun ownership. He's done this in the past. He did this like 5 years ago for another initiative that didn't pass. So, do you guys have a take or a tangent on this? Because I have one.
Want to go first?
All right, I'll go first. Or is that slanting it?
I feel like you should kind of go last.
Okay, go ahead.
Because you're really eager.
Go ahead.
I'd say all this donating money to initiatives is nice when you could really kind of just go in and just, I think, educate people who are the biggest victims of gun violence. So children, areas that, like poor areas in the hood, people who suffer from the most gun violence, whether it be from police or just poverty. I think that's where it's a better place to put your money than an initiative, because putting your money in politics is like literally going to a strip club, buying $40 on like 3 bottles of water. You're actually in a deficit. Right. You're really in a deficit.
All right.
And then when you sit down like to get a dance, you're pretty much like, I got $20. Anybody got 2 quarters? Because I'm really not trying to break all of this right now.
All right.
And then you can say, well, I donated to a cause, but if you get into specifics, people are like, I don't want to talk about that. Kind of like politics. So that's me. I'm just saying.
There's another story I don't know too much about. I mean, I guess the gesture is nice. What's going to be accomplished is another story. I mean, it's nice to donate to causes you believe in, but what's going to be the end result is what matters.
My thing is, and Paul Allen's not necessarily a victim of this because he is one of the more conscious, aware owners, but just in general, how can you tell players not to use their platform? How can you tell players not to use their voice when you have owners who are using their voice, resources, platforms, connections, and supporting things, not just monetarily, but also, advocating for it? So I think it's kind of hypocritical for the NFL to really kind of clamp down on their workforce when they have their own conflicts, biases, and political beliefs, as we all do.
Because it's an act of skullduggery on their part. By the way, skullduggery just means trickeration and trickery. So there you go. The more you know.
It's actually cool. Yeah, there you go. KB on the ones and twos.
I'm here all night, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so that's about it for me. So do you want to close it out, wrap it up?
I actually, I saw something on the rundown. Oh, wow, what am I doing? I saw something on the rundown. You had a story about Warren Sapp talking about Vita Vea.
Yeah, basically, Warren Sapp says he's not a fan of the Vita Vea pick.
I just said Vita
so
Vea.
I was actually going to pick him for my petty person of the NFL this week because Warren Sapp, why can't you just go away? Like, between going broke, between getting Me Too'd, between
Super Bowl
shenanigans, between denying you're a Raider, like all this
retiring
crap.
with 98 sacks, and that just my OCD just pisses me off. You couldn't get the extra 2? Couldn't stick around for another year with Oakland? Whatever.
But yeah, Warren Sapp, why are you commentating on Vita Vea? Just let that man live his life.
Trashing Michael Strahan, respect your fellow D-lineman.
If anything, you should be respecting him and helping him like you never helped Gerald McCoy. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, wait a minute.
Shout out to Gerald McCoy, man. Probably one of the most disrespected players of all time. He really gets no respect. I'm tired of it.
Put some respect on his name. Seriously, you know what? Let's just... a moment of celebration for the life and times of Gerald McCoy. And when he was on Hard Knocks, him talking about Game of Thrones and his Batman collection and Man Cave are the things I strive for in life. Shout out to him.
And shout out to CP3 for getting hurt again. Typical.
Hamstring.
Typical.
Tip of the iceberg.
All right, so let's wrap it up. Since you're the new guy on the block, Woo, do you want to go first or you want to go last? Basically what it is this is the minute to 2-3 minutes.
Unnecessary toughness. Pretty much this part of the show, we close it out. You can say whatever's on your heart, mind, body, and soul, spirit. Give a shout out to
the floor is yours. We mute the other mics, so you really just give your monologue. So do you want to go first or do you want to go last?
I feel like he should go last to close out the show.
I'm cool with
It's up to you. You decide.
But if you want to go
last.
I feel like he should be the last voice we hear.
All right, so you go first since you're on the boards.
I gotta go first. All right, fine.
Because you're on the boards, so you can mute our mics.
Yeah, here we go. All right, bet. So, a couple things I want to touch on. A lot of cats, like the likes of Le'Veon Bell, Pittsburgh Steelers running back, Julio Jones, who kind of got hosed on his contract a couple years ago. He probably should have done the LeBron James deal. Just said, give me like a 3-year deal worth a lot of money so I can re-up and get back in the market. He pretty much kind of just wants more money because he really is a top receiver. He's not getting paid like it. So he ain't showing up to OTAs. Neither is Le'Veon Bell. Tom Brady didn't show up. And I want to talk about this one all week. Oh, man. So Tom Brady finally turning on Emperor Palpatine, because he's pretty much Darth Vader. Tom Brady honestly owes a lot to Bill Belichick, but Bill Belichick owes his entire legacy to Tom Brady. Because, you had Drew Bledsoe, you had the Cleveland Browns. You're proven to be a good coach. But it wasn't until you had Tom Brady, and I can't believe I'm defending Tom Brady. My insides hurt right now. I think I'm slowly dying internally saying this, and he's getting this on the record, and I feel terrible. But Tom Brady is the New England Patriots. He made your franchise. He put you on the map. If he don't want to show up to OTAs, honestly, kiss his ass. First off, let's see what you've done. you pretty much wanted to get rid of Tom Brady because you wanted to keep Jimmy Garoppolo. He had to deal with that.